In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.
I was once speaking to a friend of mine who is a very short priest. He's seriously short, like he maybe comes up to here on me. And he was worried about something in his parish, something, I don't know, something grand or even small, but he was fretting about it, and it was causing him much vexation. And I said, Father, you won't add a cubit to your stature through worry. I won't tell you how he replied. I talked to him just the other day. I have to call him again today and tell him this was the gospel on our lectionary. It was the gospel about Father Daniel. I tell people all the time that they shouldn't worry about anything. Now, that's nice, Father. Those are nice, comforting words and whatnot, but have you taken a look out the window at any time recently? Do you happen to have looked at your news feed while doom scrolling? The world's going to hell in a handbasket, and there's much to be worried about, and the dollar isn't worth what it used to be, and this generation will never purchase a home, and the cost of health care, and I don't know, the price of tea in China, I don't know. All of these things are not new. This is not calamitous world situations are nothing new. In fact, relatively speaking, if you excise the very vexing existence of constant news and information, more people in the world live in relative peace than probably ever before. Which is not to downplay the folks who are not living in peace right now, don't get me wrong. But we know more about suffering, and we know more about evil, and we know more about how things are maybe perhaps a little bit engineered, or a lot. Engineered perhaps even for the purpose of dividing us from each other and from other people. But I reiterate to people, do not worry. The Lord has all things sorted. I promise. He has all things arranged for you. It's okay. I can tell you that I haven't worried about anything for perhaps the last, 12 or so years. And I mean that. Not that there aren't things that we have to be responsible for. We have our obligations to meet. We must go to work and pay our bills and our mortgages and whatnot. We have to be responsible. But we needn't worry. Do what's expected of you, and then go home to your families. That wasn't always my experience, or I should say that wasn't always the way I looked at it. That wasn't my view of things. I was a young father, and then a middle young father, and I had a bunch of children and lots of responsibilities and things going on, and the bills were never quite paid. They were always just this much underpaid, and why that'll grate on you after a while. It always felt like there was something chasing me. And then I had occasion, I don't remember what it was, I had occasion to have a long look down the course of my life, or at least my adult life. And I saw a pattern. And it was a really nice pattern of everything I ever needed was always supplied. Now, also I'm looking at the pattern, and every part of where I was involved was a big mess. But everything was, all of my needs were always met, and that was Christ. Everything that could have gone wrong, horribly wrong, and perhaps should have, didn't. And I thought, how about that? Interesting. I don't need to worry about anything. If my experience has been, everything's been sorted, would I not be a great big fool to expend more worry on things that are outside of my control? It sounds obvious. It sounds like duh. But take a look at yourselves. How much of this week have you spent worrying about something? Be honest. How much have you worried about this week? How much have you wasted? How much time have you wasted with the distraction that was meant for you to be distracted from prayer? I can't pray now. I'm worried about the mortgage. I'm worried about the car payment. I'm worried about how my stocks are performing. I've never had stocks. I don't know what that is, but they get a 401k once. Somebody else worried about that. I wonder how my stocks are performing. I wonder about this. I wonder how this is going to turn out. I wonder how this person is going to react when I tell them XYZ news or whatever. The evil one wants you to be distracted with worry so that you have fewer moments for praying. Keep that in mind. He wants your life to be filled with distractions so that you will not pray. Look down your life, the course of your life. Look on the right and on the left and on the path. And tell me where the Lord wasn't involved, even when you might not have been involved with Him. Tell me where your needs were not met in some fashion. Even, I will tell you, when times were hard and you were allowed to suffer for some reason. You were given the gift of suffering. That was also the Lord providing, because all suffering is pregnant with grace. Our dear Father Paul, who's very sickly right now, is famous for saying that the Lord looks after fools and babies and Orthodox priests. And he says, I'm one of those. And I said to Father, I think you're all of those. I think you're a terrific fool. I think you're an Orthodox priest, a very good one. And if you're doing it right, you're very childlike. And you have childlike wonder. And you may anticipate as a child your Father providing for you. The Lord looks after us. The Lord has it sorted. You will add not a cubit to your stature through worry. He's got it covered. Now pray. That's what you were made for prayer. For union with God through prayer, through humility. That's what you're here for. That is your purpose. Pray. Pray for your salvation. Pray for the salvation of the world. Pray for each other. Pray for people you do not like. Pray for people who will not pray for you in return. Because you are responsible. You are in relationship to all of them. And it is your responsibility to render to them what is theirs. And that is your regard for the image of Christ in them. Pray. Do not be distracted from prayer. Pray always. Pray at all times. St. Paul tells us, pray unceasingly. How do I do that? Well, I can give you a clue anyway. The Jesus prayer. Go ahead, try it. Don't be stubborn like I was. It took me 22 or 3 or 4 years to actually learn how to do the Jesus prayer. And I don't mean how to recite it, but how to take it from a conceptual thing to something that actually works and lives inside. It's meant to dwell in my heart, in your heart. I tell people all the time, it's right about at my clavicle. It's no longer in my head. See, the highway to my heart is clogged by traffic, and it's usually the traffic that I put there. That my heart is crowded with other things, and it's not clear enough yet for the Jesus prayer to live there. But we're working on it. The Holy Spirit is working on it. So pray unceasingly. That's what you were made for. And do not worry, because worry is foolishness. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Glory to Jesus Christ.
Glory forever.